Hey, Michigan DUI lawyer coming to you today from the 34th District Court in Romulus, Michigan. I wanted to talk today about expert witnesses and blood testing. There seems to be a little bit of confusion over what expert testimony means in DUI cases. Now, as I may have mentioned before, I also am an adjunct professor of forensic science at Madonna University, where I teach young, aspiring forensic scientists what the meaning of expert testimony is. Fact witnesses are allowed to testify to things that they see and things that they hear. These are your normal everyday witnesses, whereas expert witnesses are allowed to testify to their opinions in court. And this can be the difference between a guilty verdict and a not guilty verdict. Now, both sides in a DUI case use expert witnesses. Experts for the government might include people in toxicology. This is a very traditional and historic area of expert testimony. The defense might also rely upon experts, such as an expert in field sobriety testing, to counter some of the testimony by the officer regarding standardized field sobriety tests. Or a toxicologist might be brought on by the defense to testify to various things regarding blood testing or urine testing. Now, depending upon which state you're in, these experts need to be qualified by the court before they're allowed to offer their opinions. Nationally, the standard falls under Daubert, and Michigan is a Daubert state. But in other states, they follow the Frye standard. Either way, without getting into the distinctions between these two different standards, an expert witness must be qualified and they must give disclosures of their opinions and the underlying factual basis for their opinion before they are allowed to testify in court. Areas of expert testimony also include traditional things like fingerprint analysis, DNA, or, for example, polygraphs, lie detector tests. And as most people know, lie detectors are traditionally excluded because the proposed expert testimony when it comes to a polygraph does not pass muster under Frye or Daubert. So polygraph examiners are not allowed to testify generally in court. In other areas, such as breath testing, for example, the experts are working behind the scenes. A breath test is certified by people who know how these machines work, and an officer comes into court and simply administers the test and testifies to his or her administration of the test. They're not experts. It's the people who built the machine that are experts. All right, so I'm back in my car. It started to rain. I'm going to have to do a part 2 on this because I want to get into the actual blood testing. Forensic scientists test blood. They're not like police officers. They're not simply administering a test. But I ran into a circuit court judge recently who thought that, hey, they're just administering a test, just like a police officer administers a breath test. But that's not how